All right, as chefs, we need to know how much food costs us, how much it's going to cost our company, and then what price we should put on the menu, for example, and all the percentages that are involved in that. And so we're going to use spreadsheets to help us do that. So a very fast recap. I'm going to give you all these documents here, but last year we made this conversion chart here where we could type in anything we wanted. It does some converting for us. And then we went to new yield, same portion. So we have a recipe here. We used cream of mushroom. And if we want to keep the portion size of 12 the same, we can choose a new yield. Like the old yield was 3 off the recipe. So we can pick any yield we want. It gives us a conversion factor and automatically tells us that if we follow this, either the US or the metric, if we follow this recipe, it's going to make this recipe, but it's just going to change the yield that it produces. And then we had a new yield, new portion. So in this one, we can either pick a new portion or a new yield, a new factor, and again, follow these recipes and we'll get this exact recipe, but in those portions and yields. Great. So in the real world, you'd actually strip these out and then make copies of these. Like I would right click here and duplicate this. And so I would turn this one into a master so that I don't want to wreck the original, right? I would start duplicating these. And so actually I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to duplicate this and we're going to add to it. So I'm going to just rename this, and this is going to be food costing. And you should be doing this as well, clicking along. Okay, so these are masters, and I should strip out the recipe. I'm going to keep this recipe for now. I don't need this picture because I have all the information here, so I'm going to delete the picture. And I'm going to do some food costing here. So I'm going to just, let's see, I'm going to highlight all this here, and I'm going to merge it, and I'm going to turn it all black, just so you know the stuff on the left is different than the stuff on the right. And I'm going to write in here food costing. Now it's in black font, so you can't see it, but if I select this, and then there it is, food costing. Let's make it quite a bit bigger, like 24, and I'll rotate my text over here. So you should be clicking along with me. Pause the video and and click along, and I'll put it up at the top. How am I going to do that right here? Yeah, vertical. There we go. Food costing. So on the left is food costs, or is that the new yield, new portion, and on the right we're going to cost out this recipe. So what I want to do is freeze this column. So if I click on A and then view and then freeze, I can freeze this column so that I can kind of go like this and hide this stuff. So just so I can see my recipe, butter, onions, and I'm going to do some food costing here. So let's do that first, okay? So now what I got to do is I got to figure out how much I paid for these ingredients. So let's see here. Let's put some titles. This is going to be as purchased. And then we're going to do some units here. And I'm going to, I have this from before, this drop-down list that we created. So I can just copy that and paste it here. And then make my little arrow change and then drag it down here. Okay, so that's as I purchased it. And then I'm going to do, this was like a bulk cost here. Bulk cost, what I bought it in bulk. And then I need to make sure my units, because sometimes I buy it in a different units than what's on my recipe. So I might have to do a unit conversion, right? So let's do a unit conversion. Oops. Conversion to match recipe. That's what we're doing. We need to match the recipe. So I better wrap that all together into one. There we go. And then we'll do units for that as well. Again, same thing, copy and paste this here. Drag it down so that I can do some fast units. All right, and so now we're actually going to get the unit cost, like how much it actually cost for 1 unit of this material. Right, and then it's going to be the menu ingredient cost. There we go. Same thing, I should wrap this around a little bit. All right, and we can make that look pretty up there a little bit later, but right now we're just going to go get some cost of items. So I need to find out how much I paid for butter, really, okay? So I do have some invoices here that I've scanned from ACC. These are real invoices, And you can do searches on them, Control F to do searches, but I don't think there's butter in this. No, this is like seafood. These are specialty meats and things. I don't think there's butter in here either. But some of your meats might be in there. Yeah, there's no butter. So all I would do is go to a website like wherever you can buy butter. Like I'm just going to go to Superstore. I already typed it in. So let's say I want to buy this butter right here. And it doesn't matter. Go to any website wherever you can find prices of things. So 454 grams is $5.50. $5.50 for 454 grams. All right, so I'm going to add that over here. Okay, so that was 454 grams. And so let's do grams. And it cost, what did it say? It was $5.50. 5.5. Whoops, 5.5. 5.50 for that. And now I just need to ask myself, what is it on my recipe? Is it grams? Okay, great. So if this was kilograms, I would have to do a conversion. But if I had purchased in kilograms, I need to convert it to grams, and I would have to do some converting over here. But I don't need to convert because my recipe's already in grams, so I actually can just. It seems a little bit weird that I'm rewriting it, but this is where we're going to take our formula from. So you're going to have to, either skip it over here if it's the same or whatever. Okay, so now I just need to figure out what does 1 gram cost. Okay, so I should probably show that this is money over here. So I'm just going to highlight this row because this is money. And if I click here, okay, it'll turn that into money. So now this cell equals the cost of it divided by how much I bought, enter. So it's basically 1 penny for 1 gram. 1 gram is 1 penny. Okay, so my next step for pricing it out on the menu, I have to figure out how much I used. So over here, how many grams did I use? I have to use this converted one, right? Because remember, I'm changing over here. I'm choosing my portion and my yield. So if I'm going to mess with this, then I need to be choosing from this converted column here. So let's say I don't want to change. I want to make the exact same recipe that's on the card. And so I remember the portions were 12 and the yield was 3. Okay, and so now you can see it's equal, right? 180, 180, right? Because it's exactly the same as the recipe. But as soon as I change this, then it's going to be different. So I'm just going to leave it as I'm not changing the recipe at all. I'm doing the original recipe. So right over here, I have to go, this cell is going to be equal to this cell multiplied by, so that's Shift 8, and I want this one here, this cell here, enter. Okay, so now I know it's $2.18 for all the butter to make that original recipe. Okay, then I just got to go to the next one, onions, and I got to go look up onions. So same idea, go back, Superstore, let's look up onions, or wherever you want to go to Safeway, or another company. So maybe I bought them in bulk over here. Here's a bag of onions, 3 pounds for $1.97. 3 pounds for $1.97. Okay, let's go back here. So that's 3 pounds. What did I pay? $1.97. All right, so now I need to match my recipe. Oh, I don't have pounds. I have ounces. I need 6 ounces. So I need to convert 3 pounds into ounces. Okay, so I can go to this over here, or I can look it up online. So what's 3 pounds? 3 pounds is 48 ounces. 48 ounces. Okay, so what that is 48 ounces. There we go. Now, how much is 1 ounce? Okay, so this is going to equal this money divided by the 48 ounces. And that's 4 cents for 1 ounce. So then on my menu here, I got to go equals. Now this is going to equal, and I got to go look for my ounces, right? I went over here. It's going to equal, here's my ounces right here for onions. I want the converted one, right? In case I change this, I want it to be doing the converted one here. So it's going to be this one times how much I paid, how much 1 ounce is right there. Enter. Okay, 25 cents. Okay, so I've looked all these up already, and so I'm just going to fill these in as quickly as I can here. $1.71. All right, so that's 160 ounces. And so that formula here, now I should be able to just drag this down. It should do it automatically. It's a 20 kilogram bag of flour, $19.39. It's actually 20,000 grams is in a kilogram. And so it's not even registering, right? It's so small, the amount of flour. It's not even a cost on there. So basically what I did for the white stock is I asked the chefs downstairs how much it costs, or you're going to make your own recipe and then figure out how much it costs on the other recipe and add it in here. But basically I just asked them. I'm going to merge this. So we got a note here. Note. White stock is basically $2 a liter. $2 per liter. And then general seasonings is 25 cents. 25 cents a plate. So yeah, that's the salt and the pepper and the garnish and things like that. Okay, so for the white stock here, okay, $2 for 1 liter. I don't need to do any converting. I'm already in liters, so that's just 1 liter again. Okay, milk. I found 4 liters. 4 liters was $5.78. And so I have to convert that because I'm in milliliters here. So that's going to be 4,000 milliliters. So now we got salt, and this is, we're doing it to taste. And so here we're just going to override it and add 25 cents. And that 25 cents can cover the salt and pepper and the garnish if you want to add. And it's your choice, right? However much you want to charge. You want to charge yourself to make that recipe, so you can add 25, or you can say no, 25 is going to cover both. It's kind of up to you, as long as you can justify it and explain it. Okay, but the heavy cream, we got to do that one here. That's $2.38, and that's in milliliters. Okay, so on a recipe that's also in milliliters, so this is going to just stay exactly the same, 237. That's still in milliliters, and all of this is to taste here if we want to fill it all in. Okay. So, all right. Now when we go to our menu here, we got to be careful. We can't just do this. We can't just drop down, because sometimes we're pulling from different columns. I got to make sure I'm pulling from the right column. Like this one says I'm pulling from the P13, which is right. I'm pulling from the D column over here, because sometimes I'm pulling from the US and sometimes I'm pulling from the metric. So here I'm doing ounces, so it's going to be this equals this amount of money times, now I need to go to the ounces, right? I'm doing the converted ounces for the mushrooms, converted right there, enter. Okay, so it's $2 in mushrooms for this soup. Okay, equals this amount of money. I know it says 0, but there's something in there, little pennies in there, small ones, fractions of pennies. Multiply that by, I need to go grab the converted right here, right there. Okay, so 14 cents. Okay, now this one, it should be well over $2, right? Because it's $2 for 1 liter, but our recipe has 2.25. So there we go, okay? And then what's this one? This should equal this amount of money, which again is a fraction of a penny, times, we got to get the milliliters, so it should be 750 there. Okay, and then we got a quarter for the salt, and it's up to you if you want to add some for the pepper, but this cream should equal this amount of money times, and we're doing milliliters right there, enter. All right. So we got that. Now we need to total some of these things up.